Hi there. So we're looking at the week of March 23rd to 29th, 2020, the final week of March. I'm Jen Duchene, and I'm here with the Akashic portal, looking into the insights for the week using the Illuminating Journey Cards. I have prepared the cards, so let's see what the cards have to say. First card is the 19. And I believe we had this card last week. So 19, 1 and 9 is 1. This is the energy of new beginnings. It is also what I see in this card is that it is a time to rise to the challenge of change. Now, all of us in the world are being impacted by what's going on. So none of us can say, well, it's not me, not my problem. Because we're all connected. And this time is showing us how connected we are and how imperative it is that we use that connection to help move us forward and make choices. And so rising above this idea of being the gladiator, rising above your situation, looking down to see what are the things, the bigger picture, right? What are the things that I have to see? And you can see that this gladiator, a warrior, is looking at everything right here at this picture that contains everything: the land, the water, this kind of bridge that's made, man-made, this idea of being in a bubble, the table of the sacred ones joining in what I believe is a new moon. And we do have a new moon this week on the 24th. So new moon in Aries, very much about the warrior energy, the energy of fire, the action of being, I'm going to assess this information and I'm going to make a plan to go forward. What keeps catching my eye is the chalice cup. And in symbolism, the chalice is the container, the holder of the female energy and the connection between the divine female and source and earth. And when I'm looking at it, it kind of looks like a Y. Looks like a Y, and kind of like a victory, kind of winged, victorious female figure. And the energy of the divine flowing to the warrior, this idea of being connected, like circles within circles. Here's circles, here's circles, there's circles everywhere here. And this idea of remembering what is sacred, what is true. Even as we rush to hold on to things that are past their time, like the things we've held on, the beliefs, the actions, that are now dying out. And 9 is the final number, 1 is the new number, new beginning. So 1 and 9 make 10. 10, of course, is the number of the divine, love and light, love and trust, whatever it is. It's this idea of assessing your circumstances and being brave enough to do something different, to take a leap and go, I can do this, I can do something different, I can do hard things. I don't have to curl up and die because tough things are happening. My life is shifting and changing. Right here, the symbol here is from the Mayan or Aztec culture. It's the sun, symbolizes the sun, the light. This is it. This is that moment where we step into the light of who we are. And it's not the light that we think of in terms of everyone look at me, I'm great, or oh, don't look at me, I'm terrible. It's the light of this is the truth, right? This is the truth of who I am. This is the truth of my circumstances as I see it. This is the truth of my ability right now. And therefore, I'm making a choice. I'm leaping up to make a choice, charge forward. Here's the shield that has a labyrinth on it. And there's a lot of symbolism in this card because this one too, this is the symbol of the tree of life. So there's a lot of action in terms of change, of new frontiers. This piece of land here is actually a piece of land in England, and very much where the land, the craggy land that's in Cornwall, meets the water, the sea, the ocean, that point, the end of the world, you know, which would have been the end of the world for people who didn't have transport to get over the water. But it certainly is, you know, when you're entering water, when you're at the land's end, these are the places where you're being pushed to make choices and decide. How are you going to go forward with this energy? Are you going to leap forward? You're going to go, yes, let me look at this, let me assess, let me make choices, let me step into my leadership? Or are you going to curl up at the bottom? Now, whatever is true for you, that's what you need to do. But this card is telling you you're supported by the divine. You have the ability to recognize the power of the circle within you, the circle between you and the divine and the earth, the circles between each of us. And remembering that none of us is alone, we're all connected. Your choices, your behavior impacts the person next to you. So this is something to really take in, right? Open your heart, your being, your spirit, your soul, your body, your mind to this idea of receiving information and seeing things in a new way. So I think that's pretty exciting. And there we go, number 8. How interesting. So number 8 is the leadership number. It is also the only number you can trace with your finger or pen without stopping. There's no end. It's 2 circles. So remember I was talking about circles, and here we have 2 circles joined together. And the circle of the 0, remembering 2020 has 2 zeros in it. The zeros, that's the divine beginning, right? The cosmic breath of life. And so here the circles, the breath of life, the reminder that we are connected, that we are one. And just remembering that we are all one, right? And this amazing number, which is like a keyhole, right? A double keyhole. It is an energy of being connected to the earth, connected to source. So it you know, as above, so below. It also allows us to recognize that in order to succeed at something, right? So you can say that as we move into a new age, into new circles, moving from land to sea, sea to land, doesn't matter, we're moving into the unknown. We're stepping out of our comfort zone, out of the circles we've known. We're leaping upwards, that we're reaching for more knowledge, and we're reaching to use the power within us, in our physical body, in our minds, all of the things coming together in a circle. We are encircled in it, and recognizing that, the power of this. And what is leadership? Because 8 is the highest number of abundance, which is something physical, right? The material world, having that connection with the material world that's so perfect, like it's in the center of those 2 circles. It's so perfect, it's so balanced, it's so in tune, so harmonic, that everything flows, that we are abundant and abundant in beings. And so rethinking what is abundance, taking on the mantle of being a leader in your own life. What do I need to do? I can't sit around waiting for somebody else to tell me what to do. I'm going to have to take charge of my life. I'm going to have to make those difficult decisions. I'm going to have to sit down with myself. I'm going to have to talk to people. I'm going to have to set boundaries around how I do self-care, boundaries around how I deal with the different pieces of my life that are now all in one place. So there's many of these things. So the key here is to push through obstacle, right? It's a practice. Like, in order to change from fear into bravery, it's just, well, I say just, right? It's not easy, but it's taking those steps. So you're walking from a place of fear, taking steps, looking around, seeing what's happening, making a choice, taking action, moving to the next place. Oh, there's something here I'm not expecting. Okay, what do I do? Go above, look at, reassess what's happening, make a choice, take some steps. And that's the path to abundance. That's the path to leadership. That's the path to enlightenment. In the end, is the enlightenment of being a soul, a spirit within your body, bringing the mind, the heart, the gut, together with the source energy and earth energy. So it's all these different aspects of learning to work with them, as opposed to going, I don't like that, I don't like that. So I'm not going to deal with it. I'm just going to move out. If it's something you don't need to deal with and that you can eliminate in some way, do it. This doesn't work for me. I'm assessing. I have X amount of, this is what I have time for in my day. This is my bandwidth. So whatever falls out of that bandwidth falls out. But whatever's in your bandwidth, whatever's important to you or necessary for your comfort, if you were, how you get to that place of being comfortable with your family, with yourself, with your working at home, difficult family members, whatever. How do you get there? It's through this pushing through the obstacles, taking that choice, becoming the leader of your own life and going, this doesn't work for me. What suggestions do you have? Let's work together. Circles within circles. Card number 3, so very interesting. So here we have card number 3, which is the 22, which is a 4. And of course, here we're being reminded here of the numbers of the year, right? And we started out with 19, which is very green, and 22. So very green, this kind of different aspects, but similar in some ways, right? So 19, 22. So we have the 1, and then we have the 22, which is the 4. 22 is like the year that we're in. 2 and 2, 2020. If you take the zeros, it's 22. Take the zeros out, 22. 2 and 2 is 4. We're in a 4 year. We're reminded of the 22. And we also have, so we have the 2, the 4, and the 8. Those are the 3 numbers that are related to abundance or materialism. It's related to the idea of becoming more astute and more connected to what is material. What is it that we want to create in this life? What are we reaching for? What are we seeking? Where are we going? And so that 2, 4, and 8, which is the energy that's coming in April, is the energy of going. The 2, connecting or intuiting, what do I need to do? Doing the little details. So intuit and connect on the ground in some way, making those links. And then 4 is about building that platform, the foundations of what you're building. And 8 then is your leader, seeing the bigger picture, having the stamina to push through what feels difficult or to go around it, to have the wits to go around something that, look, I'm never going to break through this. Let me just walk around it. Let me get a ladder. Let me go over it. Let me dig under it. It's thinking strategically, acting as a team to get the biggest impact, right? And that's great success. So we're very powerful to be reminded of this. 22 is also the number of peace. So it also is the master architect. So when we're building something new, and this time we are in the ground zero of new, right? Everything's scrambling. Nobody knows how to function. We are not prepared for this. And we can just look around and go, well, no one else is prepared either. So it's kind of like we're all in the same place because no one's prepared. We're all scrambling. We're all trying to do the right thing, contribute, connect, be honest, admit we're fearful, share things. And then, of course, there's the other side of people who want to take, right? And so we get to choose, where are we in this whole picture? What is our grand plan for building together or building the world that we desire? Or let's say it's more about community, because we're in the 20s, this is about community. So we're not building to have big houses where some people are excluded and others aren't. We have to build to community where everyone is treated equally. Everyone has an equal opportunity for health care and water and decent living conditions and food. But we may not all have that the way we have had it, in the sense that, oh, there's some that have these huge houses and these fancy cars and do all this. We may not have all of that, because now we're looking at the community, the communal part. Like, how do we share the resources of the earth? that's where we need to be architects. We need to understand the power of the earth. The earth is what supplies our oxygen, right? The earth that supplies the materials that we use to make things, to build houses. It provides the land so that we can grow things, or containers that we can grow things in. So it's the air that comes in that allows us, even if we're doing hydroponics, it's water. This is all coming from the earth. And that us as visitors of the earth, or occupiers that need to pay rent, right? We've been living here rent-free, now we need to pay rent. Rent to the earth. That means we need to connect spiritually, through the breath, to our practices, how we treat each other, treat the earth. We are all one, we're all connected, and we're all in community, including the earth, including all the inhabitants of the earth, not just humans, not just special humans or humans that have money, but everyone, not humans that have a certain way of being, but everyone. So what does that look like? And what's our contribution towards that? So it is definitely a breath to breathe into this time, to take our time about what we're doing, not be in a hurry. We are in a hurry to kind of connect to our leadership and step up, but we're not in a hurry to build, because this takes community. Remember, we talked about the circles, and here's the bridge that gives us the opportunity. Are we willing to bridge our differences? Are we willing to walk under the bridge, or get to the higher planes, to get to the places where we can see what's available and know the lushness that's available to all of us, which may not look like what it has looked like, because we have made unconscious choices, and now we're making conscious choices, or being forced to make conscious choices. We may not want to, but we're being forced to be more methodical, more spiritual, more connected to the earth. So the 2 and 4 and 8, these numbers, and the 2 and 4 all through the year, are really pulling us into this idea of being more present with what is, not just going, well, screw everyone else, don't matter about them, I have what I need, right? So just to remind you, the 19, all of those circles, taking that leap of faith, that leap of courage, remembering the power of the double 8, the breath, coming to the place of the 22, the peace that is available for us, right? So we have peace, we have courage that's available to us. We have a world full of things. We have reminders of what's happening. We have the double 8, the leadership qualities, the perseverance, the desire to connect not only to our leadership, but to heaven and earth, to be the connector between heaven and earth, so we can create that divinity here. And this is where we're going, right? To that place of peace where we can all breathe on higher ground. We can all see the green of the earth. We can all appreciate the beauty instead of just using what's around us. And that is true, I hear, not just, looking out at the bigger picture, but individually in our own homes, in our own lives, as we are being confined, that we must now look at what we have in a sense that this is abundance. This is abundance, and how do I want to use the abundance, and what don't I use that I can give away or stop doing that is not necessary? How do I contribute and recognize I am in abundance? What choices do I need to make as an abundance activator, right? That it's changing your mind, changing your habits, changing your beliefs, connecting through the heart, through love, through knowing that the most important thing is probably what you have right now. So what is it, right? What is it? It's within your grasp. Is it your family, the people around you, your community, the earth? Make time to find that connection with that which you value, so that it can grow, right? Thank you. I look forward to talking to you again soon. If you have something to say about this reading, please leave me a comment. If you like my channel, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And as I mentioned, I'm Jen Duchene, jenduchene.com. I do Akashic readings, card readings, and meditations. I have a monthly group, so there's all kinds of offerings that I offer, free and paid. And my work is all about helping you step into the truth of your soul, to live your life freely. I will see you next time.